Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and in this video I'm going to just try and bring you some ideas, inspiration, whatever, for the personal missions, the heavy tank personal missions, specifically heavy tank mission 15. Before we get onto that, let's just have a quick look at the sort of missions we're talking about. So I'm going to be referring to those missions for the Stug IV. Stug IV heavy tanks. Now most of these missions are not massively difficult, but I would just like to highlight one or two. Firstly, Heavy Tank Mission 4. Now, I should also first point out, hopefully you guys know how the missions work by now. You rack up a certain number of commendations, you get a shiny heavy tank, you do the missions, the number 15 missions with the secondary conditions completed, you can skip out one of the lines, and you get a crew member every time, a female crew member every time you complete one of these sets of missions. So, these are the heavy tank ones for the Stug. As of patch 9.8, there were some changes. Now this means that the replays I'm going to show you were actually played with a higher threshold in mind for heavy tank mission 15 than you currently need. But we'll get onto that in a minute. So the first of the heavy tank missions I wanted to point out is heavy tank mission 4. Destroy or damage one internal module or injure a crew member of an enemy tank. So this is not going to include things like tracks, gun, vision ports. These are all external modules, but so a good way of doing this, an easy way of doing this, is to take a large caliber gun. KV2 is perfect. Take large caliber HE rounds like a KV2 and just dirt people to death. If you own a KV2, this is trivial. If you don't, then you'll just get this easily enough anyway. I don't expect it to be massively difficult. I just wanted to kind of highlight it. This is the one I despise. Participate in a successful capture of a base. However, as of patch 9.8, they've added the or reset enemy capture points of yours or a neutral base. So you can now get this done by going back and protecting your own base, which is good. Because otherwise, before it was just incredibly frustrating, and in order to do it, you had to play like a bit of a numpty. The ramming one can be frustrating. It's difficult to think of what advice I would give you about it. Pick a tank that's good at ramming, preferably relatively mobile. You know, KV5. I did it for the T28. I did this in the KV5. For the Stug IV, I actually did it in the IS. I rammed. I think I managed to shoot and set on fire a leopard down to about 5 health, and then rammed him. It can be a frustrating mission, but just let it come. Don't worry about it too much. Not even a scratch, cause at least 1000 HP of damage by the end of the battle, and do not have any damage / destroyed internal modules or injured crew members of your vehicle, and survive the battle. Bit of advice, take a large repair kit just before the battle's about to end, hit the button to use it and it will repair all your modules, and then you'll complete it. Sorted. Damage blocked by armor must equal or exceed the HP of your vehicle. Pick a tank with relatively good armor. Not a massive problem, there's a whole host of them out there. You can do it on the KV1 for crying out loud, whatever. These are all completable from tier 4 and upwards, but the tier 4 heavy tanks are kind of a bit garbage, but yeah, that shouldn't be a massive problem. And then you're on to heavy tank mission 15, which is damage caused, damage received and damage blocked by armor must total at least 6,000 hit points. Secondary, win the battle. That is doable. It's very doable at tier 7 or above, and it's quite doable at tier 6. Tier 4 or 5 is going to be a bit of a struggle. That's my opinion on that. Maybe something like the KV1 might be able to do it with an outstanding game, but realistically it's going to be a bit difficult. So you want to be tier 6 or above, ideally tier 7 or above to get this done, but it's easier than it used to be when it was a combined total of 8,000. So it shouldn't be too hard. Now I've got a trio, well, I had a trio of games to show you. 2 of them were mine, driving this thing, the VKB, and 1 of them was courtesy of Mac, and he was driving the T29. Frustratingly, all of these replay files crash. I haven't had the problem with any other replay files, it's just these 3. It's as if, I don't know, the client's allergic to heavy tank replays. The 2 games that I'm playing in the VKB, at the point at which the replay files crash, it's late enough that it doesn't matter. I'm already dead, the game is basically over at that point. Max T29 replay file crashes after about 2 minutes. So, frustratingly, I do have a T29 game from Mac that I wanted to show you, but I can't really. I will, however, flash up the end plates from it so that you can see how much damage he did, and things like that, you know, how much damage he blocked and all that jazz. I do have plenty of games, replays, both of my own and other people's, from the T29 that would have been more than sufficient to complete Heavy Tank Mission 15. So by all means go and check those out. I apologise to Mac for not being able to show the replay file. It's just crashing a couple of minutes in, there's not much I can do about it. I will flash up the end screen though. Also bear in mind, and I'm sure I'm going to mention this again in a minute, all of the replays I will show you, including Mac's score screens, were from patch 9.6, and they, that's when the criteria for completing Heavy Tank Mission 15 was that your total damage caused, blocked by armor, and received was to be 8,000 rather than 6. So they're all working to a higher criteria than you actually need for the Stug. And so all of the games I'm actually going to show you would complete Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the T28 Heavy Tank concept as well. Anyway, enough of my waffle. Let's get on with the show. So this is the first of 3 replays I have to show you. This is the game where I got Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the Stug IV done. Now bear in mind, all of these replays are going to be from patch 9.6 before the changes in patch 9.8. So that means that all of these replays are going to show the total damage, so damage dealt, damage received, and damage blocked by armor. They're all going to be in excess of 8,000. After patch 9.8, these would all be sufficient to complete Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the T28 Heavy Tank concept. The amount that you need for the Stug IV has, as I mentioned, been lowered to 6,000. Anyway, I'm here platooned up with Craig in his T30 and Gleb in his E75, all of whom, if you've seen some of my other games, you have quite likely seen before. Pair of clanmates. So we are just going to push forward. I am driving the VK4502B, or the VK4502P Aust B. This is the Tier 9 German heavy tank that is just before the Maus. It's soon, or at some point, going to be replaced by the Mauschen. Yeah, I know, don't ask. And apparently they're going to make this a Tier 7 premium tank, because in order to fit this into Tier 9, basically this tank has been overbuffed to all hell. My VK is stock, with the exception of the gun. I'm using the 105, the long 105mm gun from the Tiger II. But that's the stock turret, a stock engine, stock suspension. It's very, very, very slow. When fully upgraded, it's slightly less slow, but it's still slow. We're here on Hidden Village, which is not exactly my favourite map in the game, but what are you going to do? And I'm basically going to try and put myself in harm's way. At the time when I played this game, I really was very much in the testing this tank to see what it did phase. And in short, when you have the stock turret, generally speaking, you bounce things from the front of your hull, but your turret, there's lots of Tier 9 guns out there with 230 plus penetration, or Tier 9 plus guns, and they just go through your turret with relative ease. And when you upgrade the turret, the front of the turret becomes a bit better, but the commander's hatch in the area surrounding it is a massive sod-off weak point. So, in order to complete the mission, I need to bounce things, I need to take damage, and I need to do damage. All of that will help. Hello, Mr. T32, how are you today? There is artillery in this game, which doesn't help, really, because you can't bounce high HE shells. You can only take them to the face, which is a bit annoying, but there we go. So, one shot into the T32, he damages my tracks. Second shot into the T32, he bounces on my front. And I need one more shot to finish this guy off. And good night, little tanky. There's an AMX 5100 and a Tiger II over there. I am rather conscious about enemy artillery though. It's only Tier 8, but this thing really, really hates artillery. Trying for the tracking shot there, which I managed to get. Holding him in place. And one more shot should seal this guy's fate. He appears to still be aiming at my lower plate, which is a terrible idea. The lower plate on this tank is perhaps the strongest single piece of armour this machine gets. And is that a Tiger II with the stock turret? And is he firing HE? Gosh. Well, we'll put some shots into him. And reload and fire. And there's some more of his health taken away. T30 to our right hand side along with an M103. The gun depression on this tank, well, it sucks. Let's not beat around the bush here. And we bounce a shot from something there, and trying to take out the T30 here, but I will settle for damage on the M103, and that's when I take a 155mm high explosive shell to my side. The Tiger II also puts some damage in, and suddenly I'm missing 1,000 of my health. But that's another 1,000 that counts towards this combined damage total, and someone, the T30, has worked out they can just shoot me in the turret, where my armour sucks. And bounce a shot there. Hello, Mr. M103, into the lower plate with you. And the M103, he cometh for me. Oh no, ram. He takes 127 damage. I am left on 20 health. Put a shot into the cheek of his turret, and our Tiger II polishes him off. So I have 20 HP. Oh yeah, fear me. Oh dear, this is a little bit awkward. We do, however, know... Ooh, that Tiger's still firing HE. We do, however, know where their artillery is, and I couldn't really pull a shot off on that Tiger II's turret. And there's an AMX 5100, and there's that Tiger II from earlier on. Yeah, he bounces on me. I fail miserably to penetrate him. AMX 5100 in the background. Trying for the tracking shot again, which we managed to get. He bounces on me. Ooh, kill shot on the Lerva, but no, the AMX 5100 nails me. Now, he's actually using the 90mm gun, which with armor piercing has 212 average penetration. He either hit a weak spot, which is possible, or was firing APCR. Don't know which. So here we have the results. That was worth a second class mastery, nothing particularly impressive. The three of us, the three platoon mates, all managed to take the top 3 spots on our team. Craig picked up the most experience and the most damage. Gleb got the second highest experience score, and I got the third highest. And I was the only one of our platoon to die. How very sad. But the bits we're actually interested in: 2,900 damage dealt, 3,550 blocked by armor. That brings the total up to about 6,500. Add on the 1,900 hit points I lost because I died, and you're over the 8,000 threshold. There we go. Not a massively spectacular game, but not too shabby, and it did the job. So here's the results from Mac's game that I unfortunately can't show you. It was an ace tanker game, so it was a very good game. He got high caliber as well. He was top tier. He himself, he was in a platoon with a KV-3 and an SU-152. Himself, he did 4,149 damage and got 5 kills, 1,597 base experience. So if we start totaling all this up, firstly he died, so that's 1,250. He got 2,650 blocked by armor, so that's 3,900, plus 4,149. 7,900, that makes it 8,000, pretty much exactly on the money. Not much wiggle room there, it was only just over the 8,000 boundary, but of course, for you guys, if you're trying to do it for the Stug IV, you only need to hit 6,000 rather than 8, and this replay, or this game very easily did that. So once again, apologies to Mac for not being able to show the actual game. There's not much I can do about the replay file crashing so early in. C'est la vie, I'm afraid. Anyway, let's go and look at a third game that I have, which is just a little bit silly. So, I thought I'd finish off with this game here. This is not a particularly spectacular game, but it's a little silly. So, from the perspective of completing a Heavy Tank Mission 15 anyway. We're here in the VKB again. This is another one of my games. And this is an assault game here on Karelia. We're on the attacking team. We are not exactly going to pussy around. We're going to try and get stuck in. Again, I think I might have the upgraded suspension here. I can't remember, but I certainly don't have the... I'm still using the Tiger's 105mm gun, and it's still the stock turret. You do actually get the top engine on this already. Yeah, I think this is the top suspension. You do actually get the top engine on this tank already because that carries over from the VKA at tier 8. So there is that. Alright, I'm going to speed this up a little bit because watching a VKB climb a hill is a rather tedious affair. Great. T-43, enemy T-43 spotted, and I am not stopping for him, I care not. There is one artillery piece on the enemy team who we need to be a little cautious of. As far as I can work out, the VKB is allergic to M12s. This is what I have discovered. Chip, what the hell are you talking about? Well, ever since, on the move, in the face. Ever since I was in a game and an M12 managed to penetrate, yes that's right, penetrate, a shell on the front of my tank. How do I know it was a penetration? Because it dealt 1200 damage. Ever since that happened, I have come to the conclusion that the VKB must be allergic to M12s specifically. Put another shot into the T-43 and I'm just bouncing a whole load of stuff. Trying to keep the enemy team at long range so they can't reliably penetrate the weak spots. This T-43 is having a very bad day. I mean, you're in a tier 7 medium, you really don't want to come round the corner and find yourself face to face with a tier 9 heavy tank with nowhere really to run. So, I've taken one bit of damage there, I'm going to polish off the T-43 and then turn my front to face the bad guys. Yeah, they're trying to kill me, mate, but VKB. There's the enemy VKB, and there's also some other things over there. T-34-2, but badoing, 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 and that one goes into my tracks. The enemy T-43 is not very amused. And there we go. Right. T-34-2. I love the smell of heat in the morning. Did you hear that sizzle? Even with heat, I assume that was into my turret rather than the front of my hull. Enemy VKB also has the stock turret, so we are going to aim for the commander's hatch. If I was using the top gun on this tank, I would have sufficient penetration just to punch straight through the front of that stock turret. The armor value on the stock turret is about 220. But I don't. I'm using the 105, I don't have that level of penetration. I'm not going to load APCR just to do it, that feels dirty and cheap. Heat. Instead I'm going to aim for his weak spots and hopefully actually hit them. T-43 is whinging and bitching. If he ever watches this video, just for the record, your team were shooting me. You just didn't do much damage. VKB. That's what it does. He's just complaining about his team. Right. Can we pick out the commander's hatch this time? Yes! Low damage roll, but we managed to get the penetrating shot in. Now, the thing that made me giggle about this video, and I'm about to move forward here because I get bored, is that at one point, I'm pretty sure Loki came over to talk to me about something or other. And I started talking to her. I really wasn't, it might have been this point actually, I can't remember. I really wasn't paying attention to what was happening in the game. I was just rolling forwards, doing the VKB thing. I take some damage there, I put some damage into him. Bounce a thing. Ooh, the M12 finally hits me, there's the allergy coming into play. Bounce on the VKB. You see, rolling forwards at this point was probably a really bad idea, but like I said, I wasn't really paying attention, I just did it anyway. I take some more pain. Looks like he's resorted to firing HE at me. Put a shot into his commander's hatch. He takes a shed load of pain from someone. That was a HE round, I think. And he's dead. Sweet. Alright, so scoreline is 9-4. And although it's cost me basically all of my health, we've successfully, it appears successfully, pushed this flank. It would now be really nice if my team would come up and give me a little bit more of a direct hand. Hello, Mr. Waffle. Leave him on 10 health. Low damage rolls. What are you going to do? If he pokes out again, though, like that, someone else will kill him. Damn it! Ah, well, there's only 4 of them left. And my teammates are coming to give me a hand. Bounce something on the side. Someone reported the T-34. Oh, it's that T-43 again. There's no reason to report him, mate. Just stop being so prissy. Anyway. We're just double tap the R key and we're just moving forwards. Dooby dooby doo, dooby doo 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 doo. Just doing what the VKB does. Put another shot into the T-34 too. He bounces on me, and then the enemy artillery kills me. M12, told you. VKBs have an allergy to Tier 7 American artillery pieces. So this one was also worth second class. We got spotter and a bunch of other stuff that we're not particularly interested in here. 2,652 damage, 1,071 base experience, but the point here is that we got 8,830 damage blocked by armor. We completed Heavy Tank Mission 15, sorry, the old Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the Stug, which would be the current Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the T-28 Heavy Tank concept, even before having fired our gun or the HP that we lost. 8,830 damage blocked by armor, plus, close as damn it, 2,000 damage hit points that we lost because we died. That brings you up to basically 10,700, plus 2,650 damage dealt myself. Brings the total for this game over 12,000, which I think, under the current under the old way of doing things, the old Heavy Tank Mission 15 prior to patch 9.8 would have been sufficient to complete Heavy Tank Mission 15 for the T-55. I believe under the new one, assuming they've changed it in a similar manner, I don't know if they have, this would complete it for the Object 260, but don't quote me on that. Either way, it was a redonkulous amount of combined damage, which is why I'm showing you. So, I hope you guys enjoyed or found that vaguely useful. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.